Prime.tv.
Yorick, monster number 101, is a skeleton eternally chasing his own skull. In the Japanese version of the game, he is called Soccer Boy. Well, hello once again and welcome back to Nathan Plays Castlevania Symphony of the Night. My name is Nathan and this is Castlevania for the Sony PlayStation. In the previous episode, we ended up in that castle over there, which is just my favorite way of describing the inverted castle. An entirely upside-down second half to the game. It's optional in some ways, but in some ways not if you want to get the really good ending. So we were just beginning to explore that and go through the inverted clock tower. Now we're going to make our way into the library and see what we can find in there. Of course, this means climbing up the outer wall, where you can tell we're about there in the castle. We've done a decent bit of exploring so far, but there's still a long way to go. That door is where we came in to get to this area. The engine for the elevator is still here, but the elevators no longer work because it's upside down, and how would that even happen? There are these fancy stone skulls that you cannot do anything to, but they're just in the way. They're just there to float up and down and, you know, be annoying. Here's the first of our fast travel stations. It should actually be the second, because I should have grabbed the one that is right near Dracula's throne room when I came in, but I didn't. So we'll have to go around and get that one later. But for now, this is our first one. There are no freebies in the inverted castle. In the regular castle, as you recall, the first fast travel station you go through takes you to another one. This one doesn't. It just goes nowhere, so you have to go find the other ones on your own. They saw fit to throw a couple of Jack of Boneses in here that are very annoying, and again, just everything is conspiring to be in your way. And so after a couple of fairly unsuccessful tries to make my way forward, I finally did it. I pulled it off. Some of the jumps are just out of height for your double jump, so that's why I'm changing into the bat so often, just to get around these corners. I also remembered that I have fire, and you can shoot that, so maybe I'll use that a little more often in the future. So now we've arrived at the inverted library. There's a couple of new enemies here. There's the Shmoo, which is sort of a terrifying disembodied head that flies around. But it has a secret, the Shmoo. Only one shot to kill those. There's also these lion fellows. What are their names? I didn't catch it on that last one. Lion. Oh, just lion. Alright. They have kind of a nifty blade attack with their claw. Now, the secret of the Shmoos is that they will actually drop the best sword in the game. It completely breaks the game. However, they drop it on an extremely rare basis. And so this is a really good spot to grind for them. There's also this kind of creepy scarecrow thing. So I decided to pop a luck potion and try my luck. Just go back and forth in and out of the room, because as soon as you walk in, a Shmoo comes right at you. You barely even have to move. You can hit it, and then you can, if it doesn't drop, then you can back out and you can try again, over and over. Sometimes this goes really well, sometimes it doesn't. Of course, it's all luck governed, you know, in the game and in real life. And so I decided I would give it a shot. Luck potion on, put your sword back on. Luck potions don't actually last terribly long. And here we go. Come on, baby. It's a bit of money. Well, finally, I decided that was... this didn't seem to be going anywhere, and I was wasting a lot of my time, and so it's time to move forward with much sadness and trepidation, because this is a sword that I actually try to get as often as I can. We may actually circle back around to this area later. Or we'll just see if I'm able to tackle the rest of the game. Of course, every other shmoo that's in the inverted library is another chance. Another chance to win, but for now it doesn't look like I'm going to get what I want. Tin Man is another exciting new enemy. Doesn't respond super well to the holy water, but just enough. They will just drive back and forth and come at you with axes. Actually, the scarecrows, by the way, you'll notice that you could just walk right into them. There's a passage leading into where the librarian ordinarily sits to sell you things. Here's some gems that we can sell when we see them later. We'll head into this back area here. A lot of these areas I'm going to explore in the inverted castle because I don't remember as well what's in them. If there's any extra powers or good weapons and things. So we're going to check it out. We're having an adventure ourselves. Of course, as I said in the last video, all the secrets and things that were in the regular castle are still here. So that means that when you walk to this area, you can still push on the bookcase, which swings around and lets you into the room with a Baudelaire. Baudelaire. Its power increases with gameplay, so this is a time-based thing, I think. And since I'm not actually terribly long into the game, all things considered, it's not as powerful as it could be. We're going to deal with that scarecrow there. This area has more tin men as well, which can be pretty hurtful if you let them get at you there. And you can see that something sort of pops out of them for a second before they explode. I'm going to see if I can show to you later on what's happening there. When you do enough damage to one of them, it goes into sort of a second mode. But if you do a lot of damage all at once, it starts to turn into that second mode and then just bypasses it and dies. There was a boss here. It's gone now. I accidentally grabbed the time stop sub weapon there and switched back to the holy water right away because holy water. I'm actually really liking it on this playthrough. Ordinarily, I don't use the holy water all that terribly much. I'm much more of a daggers man. It's Storelight. It's at the back of the library. Well, with that, we headed back out into this sort of main area. Not a whole lot else to see. Of course, I'm going to hit every shmoo that I see because that's just one more chance to get that sword. Resist fire, ice, and stone potions back here, which could be very useful down the road. We'll see. So here, I'll show you the Tin Man's alternate fire. If you hit it enough for the axe to pop off, it pops out a machine gun, and it will just shoot forever. It won't stop until you hit it one more time. I thought that was kind of cool. Something dropped lunch A. I think that's the shmoo that I killed just there. Of course, I would want to eat the lunch of a disembodied floating head in an inverted library in a castle of evil. Why would I not eat that? Put that in my mouth, of course. Checking out what's going on back here, and there's nothing. You'll recall that in the regular side-up castle, it was a relic. And so with that, we could leave the library and keep traversing the outer wall, being annoyed by the skeletons there that don't actually do a lot of damage, just sort of knock you around. Time to start really getting into the mist, especially because I have power of mist. I can hover for longer. It's not just a short stretch. We're actually going to go sort of the long way around. If you think back, where that's that passage is goes into a boss area where we fought a clone of ourselves. But if you go up, then you get to do this hallway first. There's a couple of paranthropi, which we've seen before. And I let myself get hit by that stupidly long club like every time. Oh, not that time. Nicely done, me. And we can also remember that there's a save point in the corner here. Just do that real quick. And then we'll head on down to that boss area. Music stops, so that means there's somebody here. It's the creature! I guess it just sort of ran out of names, didn't they? Bears a striking resemblance to Frankenstein's monster, only he's got a comically large mallet and some extra hoses kind of sticking out the back. He likes to roll around at the speed of sound. He's got to follow his rainbow there. And it's really kind of dumb. Not really a great boss. Get your hits in while you can, chuck some holy water while you can. Mostly just try to jump out of the way. And then it's done. Here we get the Tooth of Vlad. That is the second of 5 relics you'll see here in a moment. This one gives us Strength plus 10, so we get a permanent Strength plus 10 bonus. 2 down, 3 to go. So that was worth coming through here. Fight a relatively easy boss to get permanent plus 10 strength. Not so bad. Take another quick safety save here, just because you never know what you're going to run into out there in the Castle of Evil that's upside down. You just never know. I don't remember what the number of damage was that I was doing to these paranthropi on the way in, but it's more now, so take that. Some mist has rolled in, which is kind of a neat effect. And grab ourselves a life max up. That's also a pretty good thing to have. Here we have a new enemy. These are called Nova Skeletons, and while they are extremely easy to kill, that beam will do some damage if you get caught in it, so it's important to take them out quickly. In this wall, a dim sum set. Wall food. Let's see what's behind this grating, which used to taunt us by saying mist could pass. It's a shotel, or S-hotel, if you like, and a hammer. As you recall, the hammers are for the fairy familiar. Shotel, I tried to check on, but it turns out it wasn't at the end, which means we actually already have one from way back. Have no idea where I even picked up the other shotel, but whatever. Those Nova Skeletons are going to try unsuccessfully to roast us, and we don't care. Take that. Grab this heart max up, and then just stick our heads into the observatory here. Just for funsies. Can't look through the telescope this time around, but we can just grab what's in these torches. Braziers, I guess. There's $100 and a heart that I didn't really feel like going out of my way for, so it was back down to the door. And as you recall, this will lead us to quite a long hallway. Back in the regular castle, it had a lot of those half-woman, half-plant things. Now it just has plants, thorn weeds. It's annoying. Can't be bothered to kill every one of them. So we're just going to jump over quite a few of them. At about the halfway point there, then finally starts to mix up the enemies a little bit, I think. Now there's no enemies, that's mixing it up. Oh, there's some jack-o'-bones to keep us company as well. Stupid, annoying jack-o'-bones. And a stone skull. At least the Jackabones kind of scatter in a satisfying way. And then we're back to the marble gallery, I think, and a fun new invention has occurred. Spikes on wheels are hidden behind decorations. And they would love to run out and hit you in the kneecaps. If you're quick enough and you land about in the middle of their range, you can dodge them. Or you can just land on them and watch them activate. It's a little bit scary, but doable. And behind the blue door, a meal ticket. Don't have to hit the button this time around. Everything's already open, as you saw. But instead of going down, or up, rather, into the caves, we're going to keep heading to the right. Sort of making up this route as I go along. I have really no idea what's optimal here. So in this room, they've started mixing some Nova skeletons in. And as I said before, you want to get to those guys quickly before they get that beam off, because that will hit you right in the face. In this room, I said, yeah, we're just gonna cloud this one. No thank you. Can't be bothered. We're a vampiric mist now. Oh, those Jackabones. Oh, just annoying. So now we get to the room of clocks, the hallway of clocks leading up to the central clock of the castle. The knights there, the blades are the same blades as before, just annoying. I was trying to dance around and get some hits in, but it was not really going my way. I'm misjudging all my distances. The big fellas take an extraordinarily long time to kill, and they drop a ton of experience, but they also hurt a lot. So you can farm for levels in this hallway pretty well, but I can't be bothered. It takes so long to kill them in my current state. Here we are at the center. Instead of having to fly up that passage, we can just fall down. Pretty handy. And we have some cool canisters containing each of the sub-weapons for our choosing. Get a heart max up. I grabbed the stopwatch so that I can get into the one side there of the statues that move. Grab the life max up as well. As you'll recall, stopwatch is required to open up that statue on the left side. Same rules apply in both castles. Resist fire and thunder, very nice. And a holy and dark, also good. Thankfully, you don't have to turn the stopwatch on to get back out. It'll wait until you're out. So now the one on the other side goes off every other minute, and I'm on an off minute. I'm just taking a moment to assess where I'm headed next here, but I want to get into that passage. I think I'm going to go do Olrox's quarters and the Colosseum and stuff. So let me just grab my holy water back here, because I'm too impatient to just wait. And I like the holy water, as I was just saying. Come on, there we go. Yeah, okay, I think this is an okay way to go, hopefully. Like I've said before, the inverted castle is much more open-ended than the regular castle in how you attack it. You have a lot of options for where you want to go, areas you want to go to, bosses you want to take on. You have all your movement options available to you, so that helps. We have ghost dancers, and this fellow, Malachi. It's a little bit like the big fellow that we fought a long time ago, but just with sort of a horrible Cthulhu-like thing going on his head. The ghost dancers will actually just leap over you if you don't do anything. I suppose they're meant to kind of catch you out and you'll jump into them or something. And we picked up the Sword of Hador. What is the Sword of Hador? It looks a lot like the one we already have. It's the House of Hador heirloom. Well, that's very helpful to know. It does slightly less damage. And doesn't really seem to do anything special as far as attacks, so we're just gonna stick with Luminous then, I guess. Heading back into the main area here, we've got a very, very large sword ghost here named Azagal. It's a very delightful laugh. And he takes a lot of hits to take down. Let's see you take a swing at me there, bud. Ah, good shot. Not even mad. There we go. So we're going to head around to that sort of big open courtyard area. After which, in the regular castle, was Olrox's fight, the big fight with Olrox, the lizard man with laser beams, but he's not here. We're going to get somebody else. But we have a little ways to go before we get there. There's also another important fast travel point to get here, so we're going to grab that, of course. You don't actually have to try using it, you can just step into the room and it's fine. Grab some more of these shield and luck potions that are in the vases there. Oops, almost missed that one. What is it? It's a mana prism. Now, the roof was actually spikes, which seems like it wouldn't be necessary in the regular castle. How would you actually hit those spikes? But when you're in the inverted, it makes a little more sense. This room becomes a lot more dangerous. And because I can't be bothered to go through my inventory and put on the spike breaker armor, we're just going to mist it again. Just mist it right up. Just gonna get all misty there. We're back to this courtyard area, and I do believe there's a save point up here, so we're going to call that a good video for today. Also, Medusa heads, that's a bit of a new wrinkle. So next time we're going to head over to the boss area that we know is there, and see who's waiting for us. And then we'll head on to Parts Unknown. Again, don't really have a super solid route for how I'm going to tackle the rest of this area, or the rest of this castle, rather, but I think it's going to be fun. We're going to make it up as we go along, have some adventures. So as you can see, we've made a good bit of progress today. That'll be good for the walk armor, help that get a little bit better. I'm going to say thank you ever so much for watching, and as always, we'll see you next mission.